In some of the projects that I've had to do, I've had to develop what's called a summary hydrograph. And the way that you develop a summary hydrograph is that you take a time series of data. In this case, I have I have a flow time series that runs from 1927 to 2020 for the White River at Newport. And to do a summary hydrograph, I am going to then average all of the January 1st values. I'm going to average all the January 2nd values and so on. And I'm going to make a plot of those averages. So I first wanted to show how I would go about doing that in Excel. So in column A, I have the date of the value, and then in column B, I have the value itself, the flow value. So in column C, I go in and I get the month of the date, and in column D, I go and get the day. And then in column E, I'm testing for three conditions. One is I want to see if the month equal to 1, so that's if C2 equals 1. I also want to check to make sure that the day is equal to 1, because that'll tell me that it is actually January 1st. The third condition I want to check on is I want to make sure that the flow value is not empty, because if it is empty, I don't want it to just automatically put in a 0, because that would throw off my average. So if all three of these conditions are met, then in column E, I want to put in the flow value. If not, then I want to leave that cell empty. So after I do that for all of column E, I then want to take the average of column E. So for January 1st, you can see I have an average flow value of 26,333.1. So obviously this is a technique that would work in Excel, but this technique wouldn't be very efficient to do, because I'd have to do it 365 times in order to be able to develop my summary hydrograph. So I've been leaning more towards doing this type of analysis in a database, because I feel like databases are better set up for doing this type of analysis. So I wanted to show you how it would be done in Access. So here I have the same time series of flow data for the White River at Newport. So if I want to get those summary hydrograph values, I can go to my query wizard. I'm going to do a simple query. I'm going to use the date and flow fields. I want to do a summary. And I want to take the average. I did want to point out that you can do min and max, and a lot of times on summary hydrographs, you will also plot the minimum and the maximum and the average. In this case, we're just going to do the average. And I wanted to do this by month. And I want to open the query and see what my results are. Now, it doesn't give me exactly what I'm looking for. It gives me the monthly average. However, that's obviously not what I'm looking for, but I do like using the query wizard because it can put me very close to the code or the syntax that I need. So if I go into my design view, I'm going to go in and make a few changes. I need to stretch this out. Okay, so instead of doing month and year, I want to do month and day, but I don't want to do the 4Ms because that spells out the month name. I'd rather just get the numbers. So I'm going to change that to MM, and I'm going to change this to DD. And I don't need any information about the year, so actually I'm just going to highlight that and delete it. Okay, and now I want to go in and I want to see what I get. And here you can see I actually do get the values that I'm going to need to create my summary hydrograph. You can also see that the January 1st value matches what it is that we computed in Excel, is that 26,333.1. So then I can easily take these values and then put them back into Excel, any plotting program I want, and then easily create the summary hydrograph. So you can see that doing this through Access is much quicker than the technique that I showed from doing that in Excel. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. Feel free to subscribe to the channel if you want to know when I have additional videos coming out. And thanks for watching.